What is going on, everybody? Have you ever let a chihuahua kiss you on the mouth? Then you might want to consider playing Slaanesh Demons. Today we're going to talk about the Contorted Epitome. Now, many a time in my videos I have pronounced it Epitome, but I am almost positive I have been wrong, and it is the Contorted Epitome. Anyway, this model is going to run you $50, and it's pretty unique to the army, but it is not a unique model, meaning you can select the Warlord trait if you choose to have this model be your Warlord. And if you do, I highly suggest you give this model +3 movement. Because of its aura, you're going to want it to get across the table as fast as possible, and that'll make it movement 15. So let's get into the stats. This model, the Contorted Epitome, is movement 12, weapon skill 2, ballistic skill 2, strength 5, toughness 5, 8 wounds, 2 attacks, leadership 8, save 6+. Now, the 2 attacks hitting on 2s, the coiled tentacles, strength user, AP 2, damage 3. So you have 2 3 damage attacks. And this model is a Herald of Slaanesh, so it does give a 6-inch aura of +1 strength, including to itself. So it is actually strength 6 with this weapon. After this model fights in close combat, you can make 8 additional attacks with the little characters riding the mirror, and they're going to swing 8 times at strength 6, AP 1, 2 damage. So pretty sweet. It can kill a 5-man Primaris squad with a little bit of luck. Only AP 1, but, they're going to fail, and it's going to kill a whole Primaris model every time, which is not bad. Any wound roll of a 6+ with this attack is AP 4 instead of AP 1. So 8 attacks, hitting on 2s, strength 6, or AP 1 unless you roll 6 to wound. Pretty sweet. This model is going to be a Psyker. It's mostly, think of it as just like a Psyker HQ. It has a little bit of fighting ability, but you're not going to want to jump it into too much fighting, because with toughness 5, 8 wounds, 5 up in Vuln, it's not the most durable, but it does get +1 to both casting and denying the Witch. So it's way more likely to cast spells. It's a little more likely to get the big smite, and it's more likely to dispel spells, something that, like a jump or a warp time or a real clutch spell somebody's going for their combo. This model, this rules just doesn't make any sense for this model, but it is roll a d6 each time this model suffers a mortal wound on a 2+, the mortal wound is ignored. Now, this would be awesome if somehow it could be in the front of the army and you could block every single smite with a 2+, because you can absorb smites. But if this model is in front of the army, it's just shot to death because it's a character and you want to be hiding it behind. It will protect it, however, from psychic abilities that can select this model if they try, or sniper rifles, of course. So if we start seeing more of those, definitely plan on seeing some Vindicares. I know there's some weapons in the game too that can do mortal wounds. So its ability to pretty much block all mortal wounds on a 2+ might come into play, and if it does, you're going to like it. But I think most of the time it's not going to happen. It is pretty unique that it casts 2 spells a turn, and I believe it can deny 2 spells a turn. So +1 to cast, +1 to deny, cast 2, deny 2. So that's a pretty powerful Psyker in the Warhammer 40K game. That's pretty rare. It's got a little bit of fighting ability. And that's about it. It has the Cavalry keyword, so it's not super vulnerable to the Vindicare Assassin's ability to smash infantry models. So that's good. And I think the main thing to use this model for is its unique aura. Very, very unique. It is called Horrible Fascination. If an enemy unit within 6 of any model with this ability is chosen to fall back, your opponent must roll 3d6. The unit can only fall back if the total is less than the highest leadership characteristic in that unit. Now, That's pretty awesome. 3d6, average of around 10. Most units do not have a leadership of 10. So if you can get this within that 6 inches first turn, you're going to possibly prevent them from falling back and keep locking units in combat with demons is the way to go, because you can't let them shoot all of your stuff. So if you can't wrap things up, or if you can wrap things up and lock things in combat, that's going to help you a lot. Unfortunately, even with the +3 move, you move 15 inches, and the aura is only a 6-inch range. So that's 21 inches. So if they set their army up on the line, you still need a 3+ on your advance roll. You could attempt to use a command reroll to get that, 4, 5, 6 up advance roll, but it's definitely worth a shot. Go for it. It will help you if you get there. And then also a little trick for your opponent. They roll the 3d6 to see if they can fall back on their leadership. So I guess technically they could also use their command point to reroll one of those to try to make them more likely to pass and escape. I think this model is very unique to the army. I think it does have some play. It is going to run you $50. So you can see that here on the GW website. And one thing, though, that is a little unfortunate is it's clocking in at 195 points. It's only 15 points less than syll'esske, and I think that's way too high. I think this should be like 140, maybe 100. Yeah, that's way high in points, but they're assuming that you're going to be rocking that aura on your opponent, and that's pretty game-changing. So figure out how to get that aura in there and, make it happen, because if you're paying those points, you're going to want to get the most out of this. And we haven't gone into the psychic powers yet, but we will. So after we get through all the HQs, we'll talk about warlord traits, relics, psychic powers. So consider picking up this model. Super unique. If you're playing Slaanesh Demons, definitely buy this model just for your collection. And I think you're going to try to find a place to squeeze it in. But I also think it's one you might leave out, assuming you just don't want to risk trying to get that aura there. But don't underestimate its ability as a caster on the battlefield. Thank you very much. Please consider subscribing. This month we are talking about Slaanesh. We are going to do a ton of Slaanesh videos, excessive amounts of Slaanesh videos coming in July. And hopefully you consider subscribing. We got a Patreon if you want to support the channel. And comment below. I'm always happy to talk about the hobby or painting or whatever on Instagram or anything. Talk to you soon.